Alright guys, so I wanted to go over with you quickly just some details on what I'm looking for on this graphic organizer. So today I'm going to have you do this first column for this story, Frances Perkins and the Triangle Factory Fire. So that is for this first story that we just read. Now, as I want you to keep in mind, this is going to eventually be a major grade. We're going to do one column at a time after we read each selection. And the goal of this is to help you make connections and help make comparison and contrasts against the four different stories as we see how each selection deals with a similar topic. So the one we just finished is Frances Perkins and the Triangle Factory Fire. That is in Unit 6 of the ebook, or it's page 478 of your textbook. And so basically you are just going to go through and fill out each of these different topics for it. So the author's name is David Brooks. But notice it also says info, so you need to go back to your textbook and look at that basic info about David Brooks and list some of those details you think that are important. So topic, what is the topic? Well, for this story, it's about Frances Perkins and how the Triangle Factory Fire affected her. Genre, purpose, we talked about all those yesterday. Intended audience, we talked about that when we went over our annotations. If you missed it in class or if you are remote, remember there's those annotation videos on the previous lesson, and they will guide you through all of those questions. The context, so that is the context or the background that this piece was written from. And again, this is dealt with in the video. So, and the beginning of it when it talks about the book that this selection was originally published in, that's the information I'm looking for here, is where was this piece first written, how does it help us understand the piece. Okay, so theme and supporting details. We talked about the main idea. So I want you to tell me what the main idea for this selection is. For here it says theme and supporting details. But then I also want you to give me evidence. Give me details that show me how you know that it's true. Now you can create a list, like if you use this little list icon right here, my arrow is, and I can type, and then I have a list like that, and so you can list your evidence that way in creating a list. But I want you to give me pieces of evidence. I would say you need to give me at least 3 good pieces of evidence that support and tell you what the main idea is. Now that can be a summary, that can be quotes from the story, that can be some important details, or it can be something with how it is written. But I want you to give me 3 good pieces of evidence and show me where in the story you find details that support what you are saying the main idea is. Okay, then author's craft. So with author's craft, we are looking at how the author writes. So think about his language. So as the author is writing, does it sound chatty, like you're talking to a friend? Does it sound more formal, like a textbook would sound? Does it sound more academic? Is he using smaller words that are easy to understand? Is he using more complicated words? What does the tone sound like? Does it sound more informative, or does it sound argumentative? Does it sound persuasive? What does the tone sound like? Imagery. We talked about imagery some with this story, so think about some of the description he uses and the imagery and how that makes a difference in the story. And again, give examples. Show me how you know these things. Give me examples of the kinds of words he uses. So if you're going to say serious, then tell me what makes it sound serious. If you're going to say happy, tell me what makes it sound happy. If you're talking about the images, give me examples of some of the images. And we talked about that in the annotations, and there's some things I had you mark on that. So pay attention to those author's craft questions. So these first couple are going to be kind of brief, but when you start getting down to the theme and supporting details and the author's craft, those you need to be sure you have a good, thorough answer and you are giving me details on. So if you have questions, you're not sure what I'm looking for, ask me. Now I'm going to return this to you. I will not really take a grade on it until this is completed, but I'm going to have you attach it to the assignment for today because I want to give you feedback on it, and I want to be able to let you know, yeah, you're on the right track, you're doing a good job, or no, you need some more evidence on it. So I want you to attach it to the assignment so I can give you feedback on it and check and make sure that you're doing what I want you to do on this. Because when we finish all 4 of these, this organizer is going to be a major grade for you. Okay, so you should have earlier this week saved this to your OneDrive. If you did not save this to your OneDrive and now you're saying, Ms. Powers, I don't know what you're talking about, where is this file? You need to go back to the previous assignment, which is this one, the Get Ready to Read assignment. And there's instructions on here in the video for how to open the organizer and save it to your OneDrive. But I want you to save it to your OneDrive because we are going to use this for all 4 of these assignments. And if it's in your OneDrive, then you will be able to find it. So maybe you don't know how to get back to your OneDrive. So if you don't know how to get back to your OneDrive, you're going to start with Classlink. So start with Classlink, open up 365, and magic happens, poof. Okay, so then your OneDrive, you see the cloud here? This is the OneDrive. So if you click on OneDrive, it pulls up all your files, and now you have a lot less files than I have. You probably have just a few up here at the top. You can see it easily. But if you'll just scroll down, they're in alphabetical order. And the title of this one was the Reading Across Genres Graphic Organizer. And I told you to save it with your last name, so you should just be able to open it, and poof, there it is. Now sometimes you can also go to Word, and if you will just open up Word, then sometimes your recent files are right here in Word, and so it'll pull the things from your OneDrive that you've opened recently. And so if you just open Word, then you'll be able to find it there as well, and sometimes that's a little bit of a shortcut. But those are 2 ways you can get back to that file if you need to find the file. So for today, on your assignment, I have those comprehension questions again. Let's see if I get back to those. So on your assignment for today, I have these comprehension questions again. Now, some of you may have already done these, and if you did and you're satisfied with your grade, that is awesome. You don't have to redo it. But I'm going to give you all kind of a second chance at it because I know we're kind of short on time, and so not everybody had a chance to get these finished. So I do want you to go back and do those if you haven't already done them. So answer the questions. Be sure that you guys look in the right paragraphs if I'm telling you to look at a certain paragraph. And then where it tells you to give evidence from the text, keep in mind that this is going to be scored for you when you turn it in. But I'm going to have to go back and score these because there's just too much variation and the computer won't get it right. So be sure that you get those done. And then if you need to redo them, you are welcome to redo it. If you check it and you see, okay, oh, I missed all these multiple choice questions, you can go back and redo those multiple choice questions and be sure that you're finding evidence from the book. But I want you to start getting the habit of thinking about, how do I know? So I want you to answer the questions, and then I want you to tell me how you know that's the right answer. That's just a good reading habit, and it's going to be a good test-taking habit for you guys too. Alright, so for today, those are your 2 big things you need to do. You need to get this graphic organizer done, you need to attach it to the assignment and turn it in, and then I want you to be sure that you've answered these questions if you haven't already done that. Shoot me an email if you guys have questions. Let me know what you need help with, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.